Zamani with Build Brothers. Starting my digital inspection, we are at a property in the City Heights area. And we always like to start underneath the eaves to see the condition of the wood. Gives us an idea of, how much wood replacement is going to be needed on a roofing project. And the eaves consist of the fascia board, the rafter tails, and the starter boards. This eave is actually raised out a little bit. But wood seems to be fairly decent condition. We do see, a couple areas of rotten wood. Other than that, moving on, what we're looking at here is a 3-tab asphalt shingle with 2 flat sections with modified bitumen torch down. Now, this house was built in 1943 and has been updated since. Good indication of that is the metal drip edge along the fascia board. And that just allows for the water to freely flow off of the fascia board anytime it rains. And you can see the 3-tab right here. Now, there are signs of damage on a couple areas of the shingle tabs. You can see that fiberglass starting to show through. And we have a couple repair areas. See some mastic applied on top of what looks like used to be exposed nail heads. Have some damaged shingles right here, and this portion was actually updated fairly recent. So we have new torch down on this flat section right here, and this is original part right here. You can see quite a bit of granule loss on this section. Reason being, just over time, those oils begin to evaporate under the sun and those granules start to fall off. This has a little bit of a low slope, so those granules are allowed to flow off. Well, something interesting I saw on this as well is this is actually torch down. This torch down is not even adhered on here. It's just laid down on top of what looks like the old 3-tab shingles. So we have 2 layers on that section. All the penetrations looks like has had some maintenance done fairly recently. We do have a whirlybird and more signs of mastic repair on those nail heads. But normally we see some wear and tear around the penetrations, but again, you can see this has had some maintenance done. So they applied sealant and actually painted over those. And we do have a small section, a little repair patch on here. We try to avoid repair sections on shingles because in order to get this new material up and under the old material, you need to actually rip this old stuff up. So we try to avoid those. But on this side, we see more granule loss. A lot of that fiberglass starting to show through, and the material, you can see, just over time becomes very loose. So this is a sign of a product that has gone past its life expectancy, and anytime that there is wind, wind-driven rain, that wind is going to lift this shingle tab up, and that water is going to go straight down to that nail and down to the wood decking. So my professional recommendation, this roof has gone past its life expectancy. There's multiple areas where that water has an opportunity to get into the wood decking and soak into the roof. We have a detached garage here as well. It's got 3-tab. Do see a little patch right there as well. So we'll go ahead and throw that in as well with this roofing project. What we want to do is tear this old material down to the wood decking, address any rotten or damaged wood as necessary. That gets done on a discovery basis, so we can't determine the amount of wood that needs to get replaced on a project until that old material is actually ripped off. For the flat sections, well, what we want to do is actually add TPO for these flat sections. TPO is a synthetic material. It does a very good job lasting a very long time underneath the UV rays. It prevents bacterial growth, and the stuff is synthetic. It's literally made to hold water. So we want to use that product to keep this roof nice and dry, especially on these flat sections where the water tends to flow off a little bit slower. We do want to add some exhaust ventilation as well, allow that roof to breathe. So we have one Whirlybird here, but what we actually want to use is the low profile O'Hagan vents. There's no moving parts on those. So we want to allow this roof to breathe and allow that hot air to escape. So most likely want to put some O'Hagans on these sections right here. Yeah, I'll get this out to the homeowner and go over some options. Thank you.